Kentucky State Police are investigating 2 deaths that were reported this morning in a Botland home. As of this afternoon, all police would confirm is that the deaths of 2 females were the results of foul play, but they did not know if it was a double murder or a murder-suicide. Neighbors told PLG and the Kentucky Standard that 3 people lived in the home located at 5120 Springfield Road. Nelson County Central Dispatch received a call at around 10:30 this morning reporting 2 people in the home possibly unconscious or dead. Neighbors told PLG and the Standard the names of the residents, but we will not be releasing those until police confirm that all of the victims' families have been notified. One neighbor said the mother was a Bardstown schools teacher, although police would not confirm that either. Several acquaintances of the victims showed up on the scene this morning, offering one another support. By mid-morning, police had roped off the entire yard surrounding the home, and about 24 police and investigators were working the scene. By mid-afternoon today, police had only entered the house briefly to make sure it was clear of anyone other than the 2 victims. They were awaiting search warrants before entering the premises. The Forensic Crime Scene Response Unit arrived mid-afternoon today. Police conducted a grid search outside the home, placing several pink flags at spots presumed to be possible evidence. Lieutenant Jeremy Johnson, an investigator with Kentucky State Police, gave about a 6.5-minute press conference that we will now show.
There we go. My name is Jeremy Thompson. I'm lieutenant with the State Police out of the E-Town Post. Right now we're on the scene. Well, you're gonna have to cut and paste, man. Okay. We're on the scene of death investigation. We have 2 deceased females inside the residence behind me. We have already begun the proper paperwork to obtain search warrant. Getting ready to go in and process the scene. We searched the exterior of the residence, and in just a few minutes we're going to go inside. We have our crime scene personnel that are on scene with investigators, but right now I can't release any names other than the fact that we do have 2 confirmed females that are inside. Tonight, possibly later, 10, 11 o'clock, we will try and release the names as long as we make sure that we're confident that we've got all the next of kin notified. We won't be releasing cause of death. We won't be releasing anything that would be intimate to the crime scene right now, and we appreciate your patience with that. Trooper Jeff Gregory is our public affairs officer. He's not going to be here at the scene, and any follow-ups that we will do will be over at post. You're free, feel free to shoot anything you want to shoot out here. Just please be very careful. This is a very busy road, and if you're going to cross back and forth, we don't need to stop investigating because somebody gets hit. Again, especially this time of day, 150 gets very busy, as you can already see.
Can you tell us, you found them inside, can you say what
we received a call? Well, we received a call from a family member that they were going to come over and check because one of the family members didn't go to school today, and when he came over, he found both of the victims inside and immediately called us, and that's when we got out here. The house was cleared initially just to make sure that there wasn't a possible life-saving situation where something could have been done in that regard. And once it was confirmed that both of the females inside were deceased, that's when the scene was roped off and we started to begin the process of getting the search warrant for inside.
You say school, juvenile?
I'm not going to release names or ages right now. It could be a juvenile, it could be a teacher, it could be both. We're still in the early stages of this, and honestly, I can't confirm myself. If I knew the names, I wouldn't give them to you, but I don't know the names right now.
You said 2 found inside. Anyone found outside?
No, there's no one found outside. From what we've determined thus far, everything involving the crime scene thus far seems to be isolated to the inside of the residence.
Were initial reports of a 3rd person. Were there any 3rd person involved at all?
To my knowledge right now, as far as a victim, is that what you're referring to?
Yes.
There are no 3rd victims that we are aware of. So if somebody brings that to our attention, we'll certainly look into it, but as it stands right now, we have 2 female victims inside, and that is all.
How many people lived in the home?
I don't know that right now.
You guys looking for anyone right now?
We are not looking for any one suspect right now. We've tracked a few people down just to, as part of our neighborhood canvas, and to my knowledge at this time, everyone that we were looking for to at least get a statement from, we have done so thus far.
I guess we're going towards, though, is there a suspect at large?
There is, as of right now, I can't confirm that it's not a murder-suicide or that it is a double homicide inside. We just don't know enough right now to say either way. Obviously, when you have 2 people deceased inside, a murder-suicide is certainly a possibility.
and it would be irresponsible for me to comment prior to investigating the interior of this crime scene on what we have and what we don't have.
Anything missing from the property? Car or anything like
I
that?
couldn't tell you that because we're not familiar with the property. We're in the process of conducting interviews with family members, and as information is released to us, when we can release that to the media and the public, we certainly will. But right now, it's just far too early in the investigation to release anything.
Is there a relationship between the two people found inside the home?
It's my understanding there is, but I can't disclose that right now because we haven't made sure that all the family that we want notified has been notified in the proper way, and this certainly wouldn't be the way we want to find out.
Can you talk to us about the property involved? We have a pretty large area that's blocked off. We understand that there are two different properties. Is primarily this home here behind us we're talking about?
This home is where we're going to isolate the initial search to and the yard, but as far as roping it off, we typically rope it off in a very large area. Sometimes we'll expand those. Today we actually did once we got here and just realized some of the complications to the traffic. Sometimes we'll decrease those. It just depends on what we find inside. Again, our crime scene personnel, lab personnel are on scene with investigators, and if they develop a lead that we're able to send some of the detectives out into the county or surrounding areas, we'll do that.
Any weapons found in the home?
Not that I've seen, but again, we're just now getting inside to begin.
I'm guessing someone asked cause of death.
No, but before you got here, we're not going to release it. Not right now.
Does it seem pretty clear that it was a foul play?
Well, when you have two people deceased, typically, unless it's a double suicide, I mean that's your first reaction. But again, it's far too early to speculate whether it's a double suicide or a murder suicide. It would be irresponsible to say what we have, other than the fact that we have two dead females inside of the residence, and from there we're just going to begin the investigation.
I guess we're getting at no sort of a natural death like a carbon monoxide or something like that.
I can tell you that it's not natural.
Trauma.
There's some type of trauma. Again, we keep those details to try and limit that to the investigators and keep that intimate to those investigating this scene.
So a relative came to check up on, what time was that again? I don't know.
Honestly, it was sometime before noon. I don't have the exact time when the notification was made. We arrived here sometime around 11:30, give or take a few minutes.
Any idea when the last contact with the people in the house was? Was it last night? Was it earlier this
We have that information, but I'm not ready to disclose that just yet. Again, I would rather hold off, release information later, or the subsequent release, instead of giving too much too early and somehow hinder the investigation, whether it be intentional or accidental. We'd like to keep this tight to the vest right now. Again, I appreciate you guys coming out here.
Thank you so much.
Anything that you want, just please be cautious with 150, the traffic here. If and when we get to a point where we're going to do a mass press release, so if it's a uniform, we'll try and get it out in time where everybody can get to post, but it will be, barring an emergency, it will be done from post.
We will certainly follow up with more on this story tomorrow here on News 13.